Yeah, so all things staying the same, USCIS is allegedly going to defer to the prior adjudication that approved the petition if nothing's changed. Again, but what they're really getting at is a project-centric analysis. So if you've been working on a project with, client A, and then for the new petition, you're going to be switching to client B. That's not going to be getting any type of deference or respect from USCIS to the prior decision because it's a new project and they'll analyze that particular project. Some RFEs, showing connecting the dots of ownership, especially if the acquisition was done, mid visa petition, like halfway through your 3-year stint. They'll want to make sure that the employee maintains status and they were working for the right employer all along. And so the maintenance of status issue may come up, and you'll just have to provide that documentation about the transition of ownership. That shouldn't really be a huge concern, but in terms of deference to the prior decision, if you're working on the same contract, you show that it's the same ownership situation as before, just a new owner has stepped into the same corporate structure. It shouldn't be a problem. You should be eligible for deference as long as the project hasn't changed. That is one of the trickier things to deal with because the Department of Labor and USCIS have differing views on what constitutes a major change, especially in the wage area. USCIS doesn't comprehend how wages work in the private sector. And so you're going to draw some scrutiny if you have evidence of bonuses that really are disproportionate to the prevailing wage that's listed on the petition. Now, typically, USCIS is not going to have access to what you're actually getting paid unless you give it to them. And the place where that happens typically is in the site visit. And the important thing for employers to know and for employees to know is during the site visit, 2 things. One is you have the right to a lawyer to handle that process. The other is your lawyer really shouldn't be giving evidence of pay to USCIS because pay evidence is something that is by statute given to the Department of Labor exclusively. And USCIS has no oversight or no, statutory authority to manage the wage requirement in a particular case. So if you give them that information, you're just asking for trouble. So, my take is when I represent people in site visits is I push back on any type of request for wages just to avoid the problem. Because quite frankly, I just don't trust USCIS, especially FDNS, the people doing the site visits, to comprehend how the real world works and understand how business works. So I just don't want to complicate the situation at all.